also from PLuGHiTz Live, and as you can see, sitting next to me is this lovely man here, LaMarr, and you might know him from a few things, but you might want to hear from the man himself. How about you go ahead and tell the audience?
All right. Hi, I'm LaMarr, an actor. I've been in Pulp Fiction, Mad TV. I do a lot of voice work as well on Futurama. I was also the voice of Samurai Jack, Static Shock, Green Lantern on Justice League. Done voices for video games, including the character of Vamp in the Metal Gear series. Redis in Final Fantasy XII. What else? Sig in the Jack and Daxter series. And, you know, a bunch of stuff.
So, after you've pretty much covered almost all forms of entertainment and media, video games. You've pretty much covered video games, movies, television shows. Out of all the things that you've done, which do you think has been the most challenging for you?
The most challenging work has probably been the video games, because it's technically the hardest. Although movies, feature films are close because they take so much time, but they're hard because you're waiting. Video games are hard because you're screaming, you know. And there's just there's a lot of ground to cover. It's like 5 hours worth of entertainment, you know.
And out of all are you a gamer by any chance? This is probably a dumb question.
No, I do. Yeah, okay. I play games. I don't play as much as I used to, but it's great because when I'm working on a game, I get it. Nobody has to explain to me that well, this is some sort of exposition that we have to get out. So yeah, I get it. When you pick up the sword's got to tell the person what to do with it. I got it. Let's go. You know?
And what's been, I guess, your favorite video game series to work with?
The Metal Gear stuff. Just because the level of quality in terms of story and characterization, it's really head and shoulders above most of the stuff that's out there. I remember years ago playing one of the Resident Evil games, and it was a really good game. The gameplay was great, but the script and the voice acting was horrible. It was so bad, it distracted you from the game.
Yeah, I do recall.
It's is there any way I can make them not talk?
It was kind of B-movie, B-list rated.
And I think, honestly, they were probably using the guy down in rendering on the 3rd floor to do the voices, because there's nobody else there. But nowadays, as the level of quality of the games, visually gets higher, they've had to bring in, guys like me who can actually not just say the words, but bring something more to it. Because that's the thing. If you have visuals that look like a blockbuster film, and then you have voice acting that sounds like a junior high school play, it messes people up. It's there's something wrong with this. It doesn't work. So, and I think there's more and more starting to recognize that, and using more and more real actors to do the voice stuff. And it's great. We're happy to do it, and it's fun.
Nice. Okay, so switching over to voice acting, which character do you think has been your most favorite to play or to voice?
Yeah, that's funny. It's the thing about voice acting is you're not playing the character; you're playing part of the character.
Right.
And I think sometimes people might forget, actors might forget, I created the character. No, you didn't actually, because there was a writer and a character designer who created the character, and then you came in and did the voice. We're all working in concert.
The Batman theme, people.
Exactly.
Awesome.
That's my palm pre-ringing. My favorite character is probably Green Lantern on Justice League, just because of the stuff I got to do. We got to do action, we got to do romance. It was like a love triangle. where else would I get a chance to do all that? Play the hero and sometimes even the villain, in the same character.
Now, also, I understand you're a huge comic fan.
Yep, I've been reading comics since, I was a kid.
Nice. And also, I guess if a fight had to break out between DC and Marvel, who would win it?
Like all of DC, all of Marvel? Well, let's see, because if you factor in the Vertigo folks,
nice.
And of course DC owns the Charlton characters, so
and the fact that
you got to give it to DC.
They have Dr. Manhattan. I'm sorry, that guy could pretty much.
Oh, that's interesting, right? Yeah, you got to give the edge to DC just in sheer numbers. They own more. What's Marvel going to bring? It's like, we've got Shazam versus the Tomb of Dracula. Yeah. In terms of sheer power, but in terms of characterization and story, I think you got to give the edge to Marvel, which is, I think, why their movies are doing better on average than the DC movies.
And who do you think actually has the better quality movies between the?
Well, I don't know, because the new Batman series has really tipped tipped it in favor of DC a little bit, but the problem is the Marvel characters are written more interesting. It's almost impossible. One, because the DC characters are better known. That's part of the problem, because you've got everybody's got an opinion about Superman, even if they don't read a comic book. Oh, yeah, I know him from the cereal box. He would never do that, Whereas you get Iron Man, somebody on the in the mall. Iron Man, he's like a metal guy, right? They kind of know who he is, but they don't really have an opinion. So if you tell them, well, no, Iron Man has a goatee, it's like, oh, okay. They're not going to be up in arms about what? You can't have a goatee. Which, if you tried to give Superman a goatee, buildings would collapse.
All hell would probably break loose.
Because everybody feels like they got a little bit of a stake in Superman and Batman. The bravest thing the Time Warner DC people ever did was let them reinvent Batman. And they got so much crap for that. Guys, we already did the origin. You can't do it again. You have to do a movie with 9 villains now, because we did 4 in the last. It's like, no, we're starting this. We're erasing the bad stuff and doing it right, which is actually kind of what Bruce Timm and the writers did on Justice League. They took all the best stuff from the comics and made it their own.
Wow. Okay, and could you tell us a bit about some of the projects that you're working on now, or that'll be coming up soon?
Well, main thing I'm working on now is the new season of Futurama. We're recording new episodes, and the scripts are incredibly funny, and some of them are insane. Stuff we actually could not have done on Fox. I can't tell you everything, but in one episode there is something called a puke me poop you. It is a goat-like creature with a head on either end, and one head pukes, and the other. Yeah, it's the most insanely gross thing ever. I think it'll be actually less gross once it's animated, but when someone tells you about it and you read it, it's just like, oh.
This wouldn't by any chance be one of the professor's creations?
Probably so. Yes, that went horribly awry.
Oh Lord, that is definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, and also working on new episodes of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Nice.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. A couple of video games. Diablo 3 is supposed to be out fairly soon.
Wow, I did not know you were working on that one.
Yeah. Playing a monk character in that. Oh gosh, what's the other game? Yeah, it's weird because some of the stuff I'm working on won't be out for another year. So
nice. Well, with that in closing, I'm Russell Isbell from PLuGHiTz Live. This is LaMarr, and have a nice day.
All right.